51.
I propose the question that clause 51 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 51 be amended as shown on the order paper. This is power to manage and control trust property. It's a brief section, the way it is, a brief clause, but we've broken it down into various sub-provisions so as to allow a trustee to act in the best interest of the beneficiary and allowing them to power to invest, which is a practical extension of the trustee's overarching duty of care. The duty of care bestowed upon them. We have put all this in that long proposed amendment. Thank you. I beg to move.
Very well. I propose the question that clause 51 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 51 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 51 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 52 and 53.
I propose the question that clauses 52 and 53 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 52 and 53 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 54.
I propose the question that clause 54 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 54 be amended as shown on the order paper. Clause 54 deals with the power of sale and release of property. And what we have done is, instead of giving the trustees a blanket power, we have subjected it to this act and any other written law. So the opening words will be subject to this act or any other written law, then where a trustee is authorized. I beg to move.
Very well. I therefore propose the question that clause 54 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 54 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 54 is amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 55, 56, and 57.
I propose the question that clauses 55, 56, and 57 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 55, 56, and 57 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 58.
I propose the question that clause 58 be part of the bill.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 58 be amended as shown on the order paper, and the rationale is to align how to exercise the power of attorney once it is given in a trust. I beg to move.
Very well. I propose the question that clause 58 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 58 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 58 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 59.
I propose the question that clause 59 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 59 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 60.
I propose the question that clause 60 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 60 be amended as shown on the order paper, and this is by way of introducing an enforcer to be part of the persons to whom remuneration and expenses would be obtained. Thank you very much.
Very well. I therefore propose the question that clause 60 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 60 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 60 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 61.
I propose the question that clause 61 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 61 be amended as shown on the order paper entirely. And this is to introduce some payments to provide for an efficient deterrent mechanism against breach of trust. That's why the fines have gone up slightly more. I beg to move.
I propose the question that clause 61 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 61 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 61 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 62.
I propose the question that clause 62 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 62 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 63.
I propose the question that clause 63 be amended. I propose the question that clause 63 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 63 be amended as shown on the order paper, purely to introduce the certificate of registration and incorporation, so that these are the documents to be kept in the register of the trust. Thank you very much.
Very well. I therefore propose the question that clause 63 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 63 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 63 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, and 74.
I propose the question that clauses 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, and 74 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, and 74 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 75.
I propose the question that clause 75 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 75 be amended as shown on the order paper. And this is where we are increasing the proposed administrative penalty from 500 shillings to 3,000 shillings. I beg to move.
I propose the question that clause 75 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 75 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 75 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 76 and 77.
I propose the question that clauses 76 and 77 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 76 and 77 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 78.
I propose the question that clause 78 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 78 be amended as shown on the order paper. This is where we are conferring the registrar to disclose information to. We are introducing the regulatory bodies, and we are also introducing another word in D. Instead of reporting entity, it should actually be reporting institution. I beg to move.
Very well. I therefore propose the question that clause 78 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 78 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 78 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 79, 80, 81, and 82.
I propose the question that clauses 79, 80, 81, and 82 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 79, 80, 81, and 82 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 83.
I propose the question that clause 83 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 83 be amended as shown on the order paper, and that is at subparagraph 3D, which as a repetitive toothy typographical error we are correcting. I beg to move.
Very well. I therefore propose the question that clause 83 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 83 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 83 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 84.
I propose the question that clause 84 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 84 be amended as shown on the order paper. And the reason for this is to allow other persons authorized by a trust deed to initiate the dissolution. That's why we are doing this.
Very well. I propose the question that clause 84 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 84 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 84 is amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, and 94.
I propose a question that clauses 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, and 94 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, and 94 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 95.
I propose the question that clause 95 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that clause 95 be amended as shown on the order paper. And this is where we are making it a provision to include the processes and procedures of applying for exemption in regulations which are to be made by the Honorable Attorney General. I beg to move.
Very well. I therefore propose the question that clause 95 be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question that clause 95 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 96.
Hold on. I now put the question that clause 95 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 96 and 97.
I propose the question that clauses 96 and 97 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 96 and 97 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 94A.
Mover to move second reading.
Thank you very much. I beg to move that the new clause 94A be now read a second time. And this is where we are proposing that a charitable trust registered or incorporated under this act may apply to the Attorney General for exemption from any of the provisions of this particular act. And the rationale is to make a provision for exempting charitable trusts from any of the provisions herein due to their unique nature of operation. I beg to move and request the chairperson of the Finance Committee to second.
No. There is no seconding on this one. Honorable Mayor. Honorable Chairperson, I know when we move, we always look for a seconder. But on this one, allow me to propose a question that the new clause 94A be now read a second time. I now put the question that new clause 94A be now read a second time. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question that the new clause 94A be part of the bill. I now put the question that the new clause 94A be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 96A.
Mover, move to.
Thank you very much.
The second reading.
I beg to move a second reading of the new clause 96A, which provides for the business registration service to expand the functions of the business registration service to include trusts. We have had companies, we have had partnerships and firms. Now we want trusts also to come under the business registration service. I beg to move.
Very well. I propose the question that the new clause 96A be now read a second time. I put the question that the new clause 96A be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question that the new clause 96A be part of the bill. I now put the question that the new clause 96A be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you very much. I beg to move that clause 2 be amended as shown on the order paper. And this is purely to define two words, beneficial owner and the trust deed, because we felt that definitions were not adequate, especially because they were tying them to the Companies Act, which ought not to be the case. I beg to move.
Very well. I therefore propose the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 2 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Long title.
I propose the question that the long title be the title of the bill. Mover, you have an amendment?
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I beg to move that the long title of the bill be amended as shown on the order paper. And what we are doing is to remove the words reform, because in our view, we are making a law to consolidate the two acts, the Trustees Act and the Perpetual Succession Act, into one law. So we have to remove reform because we aren't reforming any, while also reform is the exclusive jurisdiction of the Kenya Law Reform Commission. I beg to move.
Very well. I therefore propose the question that the long title be the long title of the bill. I now put the question. I propose, allow me to take that again. I propose the question that the long title be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that the long title be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that the long title as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Title.
I propose the question that the title be the title of the bill. I now put the question that the title be the title of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, we have come to the end of that committee. I'll call the mover to move reporting. The mover is the majority leader. Member for Marsabit.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Trust Administration Bill, National Assembly Bill number 29 of 2026 and its approval, therefore with amendments.
I know it always looks like therefore, but it's always thereof.
Oh, thereof.
Very well. Honorable members, I put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Trust Administration Bill, National Assembly Bill number 29 of 2026, and its approval thereof with amendments. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Honorable members, Mr. Speaker,
Chairperson to report.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the Trust Administration Bill, National Assembly Bill number 29 of 2026, and approved the same with amendments.
Well done. Move of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I also request Minority Party Whip, Honorable Millie, to second the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Mr. Speaker, I do second.
Honourable members, I accordingly propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Is it the move of the House that I put the question? Honourable members, I therefore put the question, which is order. Order. Yeah, that's how it's done. So you stand like that, you don't even blow your nose until I finish. Members, I now put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Will as many other opinion say aye? Aye. Will as those other opinion say nay? Ayes have it. Move for third reading.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Trust Administration Bill, National Assembly Bill number 29 of 2026 be now read a third time, and I also request Honorable Jematia to second.
Thank you. I beg to second.
Go ahead. Hello, members. I therefore propose the question, which is that the Trust Administration Bill, National Assembly Bill number 29 of 2026, be now read a third time. The Honorable Kaken, go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, while thanking the House for passing this bill, it is very important to know that we have passed a very consequential bill. As a trustee myself of an ongoing trust, this will change the whole scenario on how trusts are run. Before, we used to register these trusts in the Ministry of Lands. They were moved to the company's registry, but now it is very clear that the company's registry has been mandated specifically to register trusts. We hope that because of this mandate, the company's registry, the business registry, will therefore now be more efficient than the Ministry of Lands. That the establishment of trusts is going to be a very important thing going forward, where people do not want to hold properties as individuals, but in fact, hold them as trustees. Mr. Speaker, I beg to support.
Thank you. All members, I now put the question, which is that the Trust Administration Bill, National Assembly Bill number 29 of 2026, be now read a third time. As many other opinions say aye. Aye. As many other opinions say nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to consolidate laws relating to the registration, incorporation, management, and regulation of trusts and trustees and for connected purposes.
Order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Members, as you may remember or recall, order number 7 was put over generally, and we are now going back to it. And I will start with the Honorable Member for Malava.
Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44.2c, I wish to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the delayed completion of the Kakamega-Webuye A1 road. Honorable Speaker, the construction of Kakamega-Webuye A1 road commenced in 2016 under the Kenya National Highway Authority, KENHA, to serve as a key transport corridor in Western Kenya region, serving among other constituencies, Malava, Shinyalu, Lurambi, and Lugari. The contract was initially awarded to VIL Limited, but was subsequently terminated due to non-performance, and the works reassigned to Jiangxi Zhongmei Engineering Construction Company Limited. The project involved rehabilitation of the Kakamega-Webuye section of the Kisumu-Kitale Road, including construction of a service lane at Malava Market, provision of feeder road to Malava Bus Park, installation of adequate culverts along major feeder roads, provision of climbing lanes on steep sections, particularly at Malava Forest, and the construction of footbridge at Isanjiro town. However, the works have stalled, and there is no clear communication to residents and other road users regarding the status of the project, the reason for the prolonged delay, or the expected timelines for completion of the construction works. Honorable Speaker, it is against the background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. First, Mr. Speaker, the details of the contracts awarded for the project, including the respective dates of award, contract sums and terms under which the works were subsequently reassigned. Second, Mr. Speaker, the status of construction of the Kakamega-Webuye Road, A1, including the percentage of the works completed, outstanding works, and expected timelines for completion. Third, Mr. Speaker, the total funds allocated, dispersed, and utilized for the project to date, including any external financing provided. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, the measures being undertaken by the Minister of Roads and Transport and KENHA to ensure expeditious completion of road construction projects within specified timelines. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chairperson, Transport and Infrastructure Committee. The Honorable Komingoi, you heard the question.
Yes, Honorable Speaker.
So
And we undertake probably to respond the first week after recess.
First week after recess? The
The
Honorable
first week.
Ndakwa, the gentleman seated behind you, has undertaken. Do you know him?
On behalf of the chair.
Do you know him? He's called the Honorable Komingoi, he's of Buret. He's in that committee, so follow up with him to ensure that this question is placed before their committee, and you go there and ensure that it's responded to before they bring it back to the House. He has said they'll do so the week we return after recess. Honorable members, for the convenience of the House, as you would be aware that normally we have the majority leader giving a statement on Thursdays of every week. So I will pen the statements for a while and allow the majority leader to go ahead with this usual statement.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44.2a, I rise to present the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 25th August 2026, to prioritize business for consideration during the week. Honorable Speaker, the House is set to proceed on its long recess from tomorrow, Friday, 29th August, and resume our regular sittings for the third part of the fifth session on Tuesday, 29th September 2026 at 2:30 p.m. Honorable Speaker, when the House resumes, it is expected to consider the following business, some of which is listed in today's order paper, should it not be concluded today. One is a second reading of the Public Service Superannuation Scheme Amendment Bill of 2025. Two, Committee of the Whole House on the Kenya Revenue Amendment Bill of 2026 and the Power of Mercy Bill of 2025. Additionally, Honorable Speaker, the House will debate the following motions, should they not be concluded in the course of business today. Inspection visit to the Kenyan Embassy in Rabat, Morocco. Inspection visit to the Kenyan Embassy in Cairo, Egypt. report on examination of the audited financial statements of various state corporations in the Rift Valley region. 4, the 10th report on examination of the audited financial statements of Egerton University. 5, the 11th report on examination of audited financial statements for various universities. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, I wish to thank all honorable members, committees of this House for the collective industry that enabled us to transact the business that was brought before the House during the sitting period ending today evening. As we take a break later today, I wish members a wonderful recess period as they spend time with their families, rejuvenate and discharge their parliamentary and constituency or county obligations with the people that have sent you to represent them in the August House. The House Business Committee shall reconvene again on Tuesday, 29th September 2026 to schedule business for the rest of that week when that session begins. I now wish to lay this statement on the table of the House, and thank you, Honorable Speaker. And may I wish all our members a restful recess period. As I had said earlier, Honorable Speaker, today is closing day, as the case was be, and I was telling the member for Mavoko, I'm not going to close with him. As we used to do back in those days when we were in school. And my 6-year-old daughter, today, I passed by the house to dress up because I'd come from another public engagement and I was dressed casually. So when I went home to take a shower and change, and I dressed up in a suit, she asked me, Daddy, where are you going? I told her I'm going to Parliament and today is closing day. Then she asked me, have you packed snacks? Because she's used to carrying snacks on their closing day. I told her we don't have a party day, as we usually do. But she gave me a small flower, which I promised her I would don on my blazer for closing day as snacks for my colleagues to see. Therefore, you can enjoy the flower since I did not carry snacks for you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I wish you a restful, recess, like you wished all of us. So we go back to order number 7, and the Honorable Member for Mavoko, the Honorable Kingola.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also wish the Leader of Majority a happy holiday and tell him he's lucky that he has young children to give him flowers. We only have grandchildren. Now, Honorable Speaker, I stand for a request for statements regarding the disappearance of Mr. Jimmy Mutava Manzia. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to standing order, to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the disappearance of Mr. Jimmy Mutava Manzia. Honorable Speaker, according to information provided, Mr. Jimmy Mutava Manzia, holder of ID that, which I cannot disclose here, a resident of Phase 3 in Morolongo, Machakos County, was last seen on the 27th July 2026 at Binjo Hotel. That is in Morolongo. It is alleged that at the time he was the company of the Officer Commanding Station, the OCS, Morolongo Police Station. It is further alleged that Mr. Manzia was subsequently apprehended by police officers who are under the command of the aforementioned OCS. Since that date, the family and relatives have neither heard from him nor established contact with him, and his whereabouts remain unknown. The circumstances surrounding his abduction has also raised serious concerns regarding his safety and welfare. Further, this situation has also subjected his family to immense anxiety, distress, and uncertainty. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. Number 1, a report on the whereabouts of Mr. Jimmy Mutava Mwanzia of ID number that, including the circumstances surrounding his abduction and the status of investigations into the alleged abductions. Number two, the action taken or being taken against the OCS Mlolongo Police Station and any other officer implicated in the alleged abduction of Mr. Jimmy Mutava Mwanzia. Number three, the measures put in place to guarantee the safety, welfare, and constitutional rights of Mr. Jimmy Mutava Mwanzia, and the steps being taken to prevent similar occurrences in citizens. Number four, the family and residents of Mulongo Phase 3 are asking the chairman to ask the CS Interior, Honorable Mokomen, to produce Jimmy Mutava, dead or alive. If he's dead, we want his body so that we give him a decent burial. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Chairperson, Committee on Administration and Internal Security. Majority Leader, a gentleman has disappeared. His name is Jimmy Mutava Mwanzia. Please.
Honorable Speaker, let me relay to the Chair Security, because it's a matter touching on the disappearance of a human being, and it's a matter of life and death, that the Chair Security picks up the matter and engages with the member within the next 1 week, even when we're on recess, because this is a working recess. Committees will still be sitting, and there is nothing that stops the committee from interrogating the matter and letting the member from Avoko know, and they can in fact invite him to their committee.
That's why you're majority. You've given us a very good way forward. This is not waiting for the recess. This will be handled next week. Follow up with the chairperson, the Honorable Tongoyo, and I order that that committee meets that next week.
I've been making statements. We have gone to High Court Machakos to ask for his immediate finding, but nothing is forthcoming. So, actually, I agree with you that the Honorable Member of Kikuyu, one is Chungwa Kimani, has the power, the majority, the leader of government business, this house, has the power to, in fact, instruct the IG to produce that gentleman because he's somewhere.
Order. I think Honorable Kingola, the majority gave a very good way forward, which we would stick with. He gave a very good way forward for you. And having been, you know, you're not just a member, you're a commissioner. You've been here since order. He said what should be done, and I agreed with him. So you shall proceed. What the best he can do now is to cause the committee concerned to sit next week, and that is an order I've given, which they will implement. Thank you. As to the immense powers of the Majority Leader, I think only you know. So, the Honorable Wandeto, this is your chance to your question.
Thank you, Speaker. This is a request for statement regarding the operationalization of newly gazetted administrative units in Teto constituency. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding delayed operationalization of newly gazetted administrative units in Teto constituency, Nyeri County. Honorable Speaker, on 14th February 2024, the Cabinet Secretary for Interior National Administration, pursuant to the National Government Coordination Act of 2013, published Kenya Gazette Notice number 1766, establishing new administrative units across the country. The establishment of these units was intended to decentralize national government services and bring administration services closer to the people. In Teto Sub-County, Nyeri County, the Gazette Notice established Wamagana Division, Mungaria, Mudinga, Dhireko, and Kiando locations, Kiangasha, Gadhinga, Mirisho, Gondo, Kagwade, Kiambogo, Motito, Kiandere, and Kagogi sublocations. Despite their formal establishment 2 years ago through the Kenya Gazette, these administrative units have not yet been fully operationalized. In addition, the government has not yet deployed the requisite national government administration officers, including an assistant county commissioner, chiefs, and assistant chiefs, nor established and equipped the necessary administrative offices to facilitate effective service delivery. Honorable Speaker, the delay has continued to impose significant challenges on the residents of Teto constituency, particularly in accessing government services, coordinating security operations, responding to emergencies and disasters, and addressing other essential administrative matters. It has also undermined the government objectives of decentralizing services and ensuring that national government administration is accessible and responsive to citizens at the grassroots. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration, on the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. 1, reasons for the delay in operationalizing the administrative units and budgetary provisions made by the government for staffing, establishment, and equipping of the units. 2, a clear timeline for the full operationalization of each of the gazetted administrative units, including the deployment of the requisite national government administration officers. And 3, provisional measures in place to ensure that residents of Teto benefit from accessible national government administration, effective security coordination, disaster response, and other essential services within the newly established administrative units. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Sige, do you sit in this committee? Do you sit in the Committee on Administration and General Security?
Chair, Mr. Speaker, I think the chairman.
No, do you sit in that committee?
Yes, I sit in the committee.
If you sit in that committee,
yes, sir.
I would like to send you there.
Okay, Mr. Speaker.
It's a very straightforward request. He says that in his constituency, there are newly created units that require to be operationalized. Now, I want to take charge of that and inform the committee chair that we would want the response to this statement when we come back from recess the first week.
Point taken, Bridge.
Thank you. It's a very straightforward matter. Doesn't require so many things. Thank you so much. The Honorable Member for Samburu West. I've seen you walking around the house. You have a statement request for.
Yes, Speaker.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the proliferation of adulterated alcohol drinks in the country. Honorable Speaker, there have been increasing reports of unscrupulous individuals purportedly engaging in the production, distribution, and the sale of adulterated alcoholic beverages in the country. These adulterated alcoholic drinks expose unsuspecting customers to serious health risks, including permanent disabilities and loss of life. The continued availability of such harmful products in the market raises serious concerns regarding the effectiveness of the regulatory surveillance and enforcement mechanisms established to safeguard the health and safety of consumers. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. 1, the measures that the government has put in place to identify, track, intercept, and destroy adulterated alcoholic drinks before they reach the consumers. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, the measures that have been taken by the Anti-Counterfeit Authority, the Kenya Bureau of Standards, KEBS, and other relevant regulatory and enforcement agencies to ensure that alcoholic beverages available in the market meet the prescribed quality, safety, and health standards. The steps that have been taken by national government agencies in collaboration with the county governments to identify and dismantle the networks involved in the manufacture, distribution, and sale of adulterated alcoholic beverages, specifying the actions taken against the persons responsible. Fourth, Mr. Speaker, the number of reported cases of poisoning, serious illness, and fatalities associated with the consumption of adulterated alcoholic drinks, including the brands or products involved, the findings of laboratory analysis conducted on the affected products, the substances detected and action taken, if any, and lastly, Mr. Speaker, the surveillance, inspection, and enforcement mechanisms currently in place to curb the manufacture, distribution, and sale of adulterated or substandard alcoholic drinks, including an assessment of their effectiveness in deterring offenders and protecting consumers. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Leader, the Honorable Leader, this is a matter that I want you to deal with. I don't know whether you named these drinks in your statement. Did you name them?
Name them because they are bodies, and that is why in one of the questions I have asked that we be told the names of these drinks. And Mr. Speaker, this is not just the ones we think are sold at the, I don't know how to call them, the liquor stores, the cheaper ones, but we need even the ones sold at high end or the middle, I don't want to name brands right now because, yeah.
I'm asking this because how do they know? How do they know these brands are adulterated if we don't have a list of them? That is why I asked that question. But with the as may, I understand you, the Honorable Majority Leader. This has been in that for a long time, and that's why I'm putting it to your desk.
Honorable Speaker, I want to agree with the Honorable Lesuda that we have a big problem with alcohol and illicit alcohol. Honorable Speaker, back in 2015, I proposed a bill, which is now an act of parliament, that was called the Alcoholic Drinks Amendment Bill of 2015, that first recognized alcoholism as a disease, because alcoholism is a disease. The people we see consuming these illicit brews, many of them are sick. But I think the challenge has been what the Ministry of Health ought to be doing, and this, we must deal with this matter holistically, from a health perspective, and also from an administrative and security perspective. Administrative, because, Honorable Speaker, the question you're asking is paramount. Which are these illicit brews? Honorable Lesuda is also telling us it's not just illicit brews. Many people are consuming non-legal brands, good brands of spirits that are known, I don't want to name names, but brands that are fake. And they're using branded brands and their bottlers to rebottle what are things that are being done in people's backyards. 2 weeks ago, Honorable Speaker, in my own constituency in Kikuyu, actually in my village in Kikambura, at Musasagitau stage, it took members of the public to demolish 2 small bars after a young man was stabbed by another when they were fighting in that small bar. But the horrific stories I heard from young people there who are telling me, Mheshimiwa, now at least I can keep 100 shillings in my pocket, but before when these bars were there, I could not. I'm saying this, Honorable Speaker, because the Ministry of Health must come up to help in the treatment of people who are suffering from alcoholism. And that young man who was telling me, now I can keep 100 shillings, asking, so what was driving you to the bar? Why were you going there? And he tells me, you know, if it is here and I have money, I just find myself walking there. Because he's sick and he doesn't know. Rehabilitation of people who are suffering from alcoholism is a matter that we need to look at from a health perspective. Enforcement of existing laws. The Kenya Bureau of Standards, what they are doing. The fake stamps, revenue stamps, KRA stamps, that are being sold by people who seemingly are doing very well along Kiambu Road. And they are known, Honorable Speaker, not that they are not known. KEBS has been dealing with the issue of revenue stamps, I think now for the last 4 years. That matter is never resolved. People are still printing revenue stamps, affixing them on fake alcohol and selling to people, believing that these revenue stamps and KEBS stamps are genuine. But there are things that are being printed in China, Honorable Speaker. Where is KRA in that matter? Because we must deal with it, Honorable Speaker. When it comes to licensing of the bars, Honorable Speaker, is a matter that county governments can never run away from. Because they have used the licensing of bars as a revenue stream. That bar that was demolished in my village in Ikambura is less than 300 meters from 2 private primary schools. The law is quite clear that you cannot license a bar within a distance of, I think, 300 meters from a public educational institution. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, I want to say this statement by Honorable Lesuda is not something that we should just brush off. I will be asking the chair of the security committee, because NACADA and the other enforcement agencies follow under that State Department, to cause them to speak to this matter and answer Honorable Lesuda when we come back. But also request the chair of the health committee to pick up the matter of alcoholism, treatment and rehabilitation of people who are suffering from alcoholism from the Ministry of Health, because we enacted a law here that said that alcoholism must be recognized as a disease and we must devote resources to treatment and rehabilitation of alcoholics in our country, Honorable Speaker. Otherwise, let us desist from what I have seen from some idle politicians, from just speaking about alcoholism. For instance, Samburu is not in Mount Kenya region. Marsabit, where my good sister Naomi here comes from, is not in Mount Kenya region. The issue of drugs in Isiolo, Marsabit, is a big problem. I have not had a single idle politician from these regions saying it is the government that has brought drugs to our people to finish them. But you hear the idiocy and idleness of idiotic politicians saying, oh, alcohol is being brought to this region to finish our people because we have 7 million voters. Shame on you.
I didn't think it would go that way.
Shame
I didn't
on
want
you.
it to go that way.
Shame on them, Honorable
I
Speaker.
didn't want it to go that way.
I'm saying shame on them because, Honorable Speaker, we must call idiocy for what it is. People who are empty-headed, they must be told they are empty-headed, Honorable Speaker, without flinching an eyelid. And I tell them so. Because, Honorable Speaker, we must think about offering solutions, like I did back in 2015. As a legislator, I would expect any legislator in this House, like what Honorable Lesuda has done, challenge those in positions of authority, whether it is KEBS, whether it is the Ministry of Health, to come up with measures that will help us to implement the laws that are there. And if there are laws that we need to improve on, we improve on them, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, Honorable Lesuda, rest assured, I'll pick up that matter with the 2 committees so that we have more of a multi-sector approach to this problem, because it is indeed a big problem, not just in Samburu County, but across the entire region. I hear the member for Baringo saying they have the same problem in Baringo and many other parts of this country. There is no place you'll go in this country, Honorable Speaker, and not find young men who are drunk during the day. This morning I was somewhere in Limuru and a young man approached me with a problem of a lung problem. And he told me, I will not lie to you, I've been a smoker, but I have stopped smoking. but one of my lungs has collapsed. All he wanted was 7,500 shillings to pay for his SHA to be able to get treatment because he had been told SHA will pay for you, but he's not registered. And I offered to register him for SHA. But when he insisted he wants the money, I told him, give me your mom's number, I will get your ID, I'll get your hospital documentation, I'll pay directly to SHA. The young man was smelling of alcohol. And we had a long engagement for over 20 minutes on how he needs also to stop drinking. This is what we must do as leaders. If you save one life, maybe that is what you are called as a leader to do. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Mayaka.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I just wanted to add my voice to this particular issue because, as it has been said, it's affecting a lot of counties. And Honorable Speaker, if you take a look at TikTok and some of the stories that are there about fake alcohol, stories narrated by even doctors, how people die because of partaking fake alcohol. Honorable Speaker, there is this thing that is on the, in alcoholic drinks, something that you can scan, and I've heard this from my friends. But when you scan, it doesn't give you any information. And you have the choice to return the drink back to the person who is selling to you. But also, how many people are aware of this knowledge that you can actually scan to confirm whether or not a drink is fake or not? So, Honorable Speaker, we need to take to task KBS and KRA and all these people, because this issue is really, really affecting our young people, including in my home county, Nyamira, where you find young people are getting sick, people are taking fake alcohol. And Honorable Speaker, we are not saying there's anything wrong with taking alcohol. I mean, Jesus turned water into wine. But also, as the majority leader has said, alcoholic is a problem. But it doesn't mean that people can have access to fake alcohol. So this is an issue that is of great concern, that it needs to be investigated so that we can have solutions. Thank you.
You are certain that the wine that was turned was the real wine?
It was real. It was not fake because people did not get sick.
Thank
you.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I stand in support of Honorable Resuda. The Honorable Speaker, the tales in Nyeri are pathetic. To begin with, the county governments are the biggest, weakest link in this fight. In Nyeri, bars are operating on account of awaiting approval up to August, towards the last quarter of the year. So they have no licenses. Apparently, they are being processed. But in the meantime, there's a local arrangement for them to operate. Depots that open beyond normal working hours, but the owners of the businesses are never arrested. Only their employees are arrested, taken to court, fined, but the business owner is protected and untouchable. The issue of the fake stamps, and here, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Resuda and Majority Leader, KRA, they come and declare stamps on seized alcohol fake. But then they go and behind the scenes, and as long as the owner of the alcohol agrees to pay the lost revenue, apparently KRA has no complaint. So I agree that.
And that's why I thought that the missing link is not KRA. It is a body called the Kenya Anti-Counterfeit Agency.
See, you see, the multi-sectoral approach. How does KRA say on inspection, and I sat in one of the incidences, I sat with the KRA inspectors, a full pickup, and they scanned, and they said all these KRA stamps are fake. When the case was taken to court, KRA came before the judge and said they are no longer a party to the case because the vendor apparently agreed to pay taxes. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank Honorable Lesuda that, and I urge our members that when this issue comes, let us be present because it is a really weighty matter.
Baringo, 2 minutes, please.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. As my members who have spoken before me, I also want to add my concerns on this matter. Mr. Speaker, alcohol, as much as we are members of parliament, we will do the laws that will have policies to stop probably the manufacturers or institutions that should curtail this problem. But Mr. Speaker, there is also the bigger part that we are not able to legislate morals, to legislate intentions. Because my worry today in the African setup is you walk into the nearest club is hand in hand with a construction of a church. Hand in hand in a closest estate where children are brought up. Where grown-ups wake up every day, there is a disco and club in the next door, and there is a church on the other door. So there's a missing link, not only in government operatives, but there's also a missing link in the society. Because, Mr. Speaker, we are literally watching a generation drain down. There was an opportunity for the KDF recruitment last year. It was not only about alcoholism, the drug menace. It's even worse when girls, young mothers are involved. It is just a crazy thing that I think for the first time, I want to support my friend, Honorable Lesuda, that this matter must be given the weighty that it matters. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you. I think this is just a request for a statement, the Honorable Giggs.
Yeah.
You want to say something on this? Or you want to give your response?
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wanted your indulgence, Honorable Speaker. I have a flight to catch, and I had 3 responses that I was supposed to respond to. I don't know what is the direction because I have only the next 20 minutes or so.
I will, because we've organized the order paper so many times today, and so I wouldn't do that, I'm sorry.
Okay.
But I would request those with statements, because I have 4 of them, we run through them very quickly, then we come to responses.
Can I then table them? Then the members who had asked could get, because after this, then...
No, just take your seat.
Okay.
In the next 10 minutes, you'll be done with the statements, then you can start responses. Okay? So the request by the Honorable Lesuda is therefore referred to joint committees of both health and administration and internal security to be handled by them jointly. The next request that I have, and I can see the member in the House, is Honorable Ngogoyo. Honorable Ngogoyo, if you could summarize your statement, I would appreciate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I will do as guided. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44.2c, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Energy, Forestry and Mining regarding the proposed mining of niobium and a rare earth mineral at Mrima Hill in Kwale County. Mrima Hill in Kwale County contains significant deposits of niobium, a rare earth element. In 2026, the government commenced the process of awarding mineral rights for development for these deposits. The proposed development has, however, raised concerns regarding the potential environmental and cultural impact the involvement of local communities, and the safeguard being put in place before mining activities commence. Mrima Hill is a protected forest and an area of significant cultural and heritage importance to the local community. These concerns are particularly significant in the light of the 2017 decision of the Court of Appeal, which declared the previous mining license of Mrima Hill issued by the Kotek Mining Kenya null and void, having been issued without any requisite environmental, forestry, and heritage approval. The court underscored the protection and the status of Mrima Hill and the necessary for obtaining the relevant statutory approval before mining that could lawfully be undertaken. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Environment, Forestry, and Mining on the following. 1, the status of the tender and the licensing process of the development of the niobium, the rare earth mineral element, and other mineral deposits in Mrima Hill. 2, measures that have been taken by the relevant ministries to ensure the compliance with all environmental, forestry, and cultural heritage requirements applicable to Mrima Hill, including the status of the requisite environmental impact assessment approvals and consents. 3, details of the public participation and consultations undertaken with the county government of Kwale, the Kaya elders, the Community Forest Association, and other affected local communities in relation to the proposed projects. And lastly, outline the benefit sharing and community development agreement proposed for the project, including measures to ensure that the county government of Kwale and the affected local communities receive lawful share of the benefits accruing from the exploitation of the mineral resource. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well said. The Minority Leader, Minority Whip, I hope you note this statement and place it before the relevant committee, the Committee on Environment, Forestry and Mining, to be responded to the second week when you come back from the recess.
Most obliged, Honorable Speaker, and will do so. Thank you.
Is the Honorable Patma Masito in the House? The Honorable Gogoyo, you've had second week. Yeah, after recess. Patma Masito, the Honorable Akuja Protas, the Honorable Sigei. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a request for a statement regarding transitioning of the new KCC to private management. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 42C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock regarding transitioning of the new Kenya Cooperative Creameries, new KCC, from public to private management. Honorable Speaker, over the years, the new KCC, particularly in Sotik plant, has continued to play a significant role in the dairy sector value chain, providing a market for milk produced by farmers, supporting the stability of dairy sector, and supporting the livelihoods of hundreds of households within the rural economy in the region. Established in 1925, the Kenya Cooperative Creameries, it rebranded itself in 2005 and continued to operate as a fully state-owned enterprise to date. Reports of its proposed transition to private management have caused anxiety among dairy farmers, employers, suppliers, and service providers, some of whom have not been paid for their dues, including remittance of statutory deductions since June 2026. The lack of clarity in the process, the timeliness, and the safeguards of the public assets and the interest of the farmers, employees, stakeholders has caused a lot of uncertainty in Sotik constituency. on the future of the new KCC plant in the region. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock on the following. One, the current status of the ownership and operations of the new KCC Sotik plant, including clarification on or plans of, if any, to transition it, and other plans from being state-owned to private. Two, the policy considerations, including the rationale, objectives, and the expected benefits to the dairy farmers, underpinning the reported plans to transition the new KCC to private management. Three, a report on any public participation and consultations undertaken on the reported transitioning with dairy farmers, farmer cooperatives, employees, suppliers, consumers, and other stakeholders, specifying the details of the views received and how they have informed the transition. Four, the status of all outstanding debts and liabilities owed by or to the new KCC Sotik plant, including debts owed to dairy farmers, cooperatives, suppliers, employees, and other creditors, and the arrangements put in place for their settlement or offsetting before or during the transition. Number five, the measures instituted to safeguard the public assets, investments, infrastructure, land, equipment, and other resources held by the new KCC Sotik plant from loss resulting from the transition. And lastly, number six, the regulatory and oversight framework that will govern the privately managed new KCC to ensure continued support for the dairy sector, fair competition, transparency, accountability, and protection of the interest of farmers, consumers, and other stakeholders in the dairy sector. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Deputy Minority Whip, again, this is under your charge. Make sure that the chairman and the Committee of Agriculture is reached. Again, response to be brought before the House, second week after we resume from recess.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. We'll do so. And 2 weeks after we resume, then you'll be able to get your response. Thank you.
Honorable Harun.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife regarding the tragic death of Mr. Yusuf Barre Ali Hire, a resident of Boka, Tana River County, following a crocodile attack. Honorable Speaker, on 29th July 2026, Mr. Yusuf Barre Ali reportedly went missing after he went to graze his goats along Tana River following an extensive search involving officers from the Kenya Wildlife Service and Kenya Red Cross and members of the local community. His body was recovered on 2nd August 2026. It is alleged that parts of his body, including his right hand and right leg, were missing, indicating seemingly that he may have been attacked by a crocodile. Honorable Speaker, it has further been alleged by someone who reportedly witnessed the incident that the deceased was thrown into the river by officers from Kenya Wildlife Service. This allegation, together with the circumstances surrounding his disappearance and death warrant, his disappearance and death warrant a thorough investigation to establish what transpired and to ensure accountability where necessary. The tragic incident has caused considerable concern among residents of Tana River County and Garissa County, particularly among communities living along the rivers and other water bodies where human life conflict poses a persistent threat to human life and livelihoods. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife on the following: the circumstances surrounding the disappearance and death of Mr. Yusuf, including a report on the investigations into the allegations that he was thrown into the river by officers from Kenya Wildlife Service, and any action taken against the persons found culpable, the measures put in place to prevent crocodile attacks and mitigate human-wildlife conflict along Tana River and other identified high-risk areas, and an indication on the timelines for payment of compensation owed to the family. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you again. This should reach the committee, the chairperson of the Committee on Internal Administration and Security, the Honorable Deputy Manager Whip.
This is a matter that needs some serious attention.
Yes.
Because someone has already lost his life, and many more are in danger. So I would suggest that while we are in recess, the committee should take that matter up and give proper response so that we can avoid future challenges like that. And it has happened in many counties, and we should give attention. Thank you.
This should be placed before that committee while also dealing with the question asked earlier, the member from Mavoko. We ordered that they should sit next week and look into it. This will be placed before the committee on that next week. Member for West Mugirango, the member of Mogaka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to request for a statement regarding the exclusion of a winning school from exhibiting their item at the State House Gala. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 44, 2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Department Committee on Education regarding the exclusion of Mobamba Comprehensive School in West Mogrango constituency, Nyamira County, from the recent State House performance gala arising out of the winners from Kibabii. Honorable Speaker, Mobamba Comprehensive School successfully competed at the National Music Festival, and subsequent to that, they got an invitation to the gala performance, which they honored. However, Mr. Speaker, and regrettably, no school or learners from Nyamira County were invited to present or exhibit their winning items at the State House event. The recent exclusion of Mobamba School has raised concerns regarding the criteria being applied in selecting schools for national recognition and the adequacy of government support for co-curricular activities. Reportedly, Mr. Speaker, on 8 August 2026, the said Mobamba Comprehensive School sought transport assistance to attend and participate in the National Music Festival held at Kibabii University in Bungoma County, but were denied such support from the ministry. It is, Mr. Speaker, against that background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education on the following. What is the criteria applied in selecting schools and learners that are invited to the State House Gala performance annually, including the ranking of the schools so selected? Number two, the reasons, Mr. Speaker, for the exclusion of Mobamba Comprehensive School and why Nyamira County as a whole did not have any representation in the State House representation. Mr. Speaker, finally, I want to know the measures taken by the Ministry of Education to ensure fairness and equality of opportunity to be granted in the selection of schools for national recognition, including but not limited to the status of government funding for co-curricular activities, and whether budget lines exist for the transport of schools that are qualifying for national competition, so that members of parliament like myself don't have to underwrite such expenses. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very interesting one. Honorable Manuel Whip, again, let this reach the Committee on Education.
Yeah, I promise to speak to the chairman so that 2 weeks after our recess, the response is given. Thank you.
You've heard that. We are all looking forward to that answer.
I have heard that, and I'll speak to the minister himself in the language I share with him, because we need fairness and parity in treatment of schools. Thank you so much.
Honourable members, we now move to members, just to take up to take back the question is the question of the Honorable Mulher Harun. I referred the matter to the Committee on Tourism on Internal Security. I think that the right committee will be the one for tourism and wildlife. So we defer to that committee, and I invite the Honorable Manuel Whip to note the same, that this be taken to the Committee on Tourism and Wildlife. Thank you. Members, we now move to responses, and under that, I would like to defer the following responses, because members are not here, and because this afternoon we organized the order paper severally, some members may have left early. So the response to the statement by the Honorable Caleb Amisi of Saboti, response to the request by the Honorable Owen Bayer, Cliff North, and the response to the request by the Honorable Brandon Manduku of Nyaribari Masaba are accordingly deferred to the next time they are slotted in the order paper. We therefore move to the response to the request by the Honorable Member for Samburu West on power outages in Samburu West constituency. This by the chairperson of the Committee on Energy.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. This is a response following a letter that is dated 22nd June 2026. Honorable Speaker, there was a request by Honorable Naisula Lesuda, Member of Parliament for Samburu West constituency. The following was requested, Honorable Speaker. One, the status of parallelization of Rimuruti substation, including the reasons for the delay. Honorable Speaker, currently Marl Town is supplied with power from Lalet substation through the long 33 kV Nyahururu 2 line. The interruptions experienced on the 14th August 2026 were associated with the intermittent earth fault on the existing network, which manifested mainly at night. Teams have undertaken inspection and corrective actions identified to stabilize supply during the existing lines. However, the supply reliability will significantly improve upon commissioning of Ketrako Rimuruti 132/33 kV substation. Honorable Speaker, the Rimuruti 132/33 kV substation is being implemented by Ketrako. The project is at commissioning stage, and Kenya Power is coordinating closely with the Ketrako on its commissioning and associated 33 kVA evacuation arrangements. KPLC has completed the 33 kV feed outs in readiness for that. Upon commissioning, the substation will provide 4 33 kV feeder outlets, one of which is planned as a dedicated sub-transmission supply to Maralal Town. This will shorten the supply route, strengthen voltage performance, and improve operational flexibility for Samburu West constituency. The interconnected project comprising the Nanyuki, Isiolo, Meru, and Nanyuki Rimuruti transmission lines, the Nanyuki underground cable, and the associated substation have been substantially completed and are currently at various stages of commissioning and energization. The Isiolo-Nanyuki project has been completed and is scheduled for commissioning on the 27th. Honorable Speaker, this actually was commissioned today at 10 in the morning, and it is working, I've just gotten some message from the PS. Similarly, the 132 kV Nanyuki Rimuruti transmission project has been completed and is awaiting energization. The delay in energization has been occasioned by the need to undertake comprehensive system studies to assess the impact of the interconnected projects on network stability to ensure that the system remains stable and secure upon energization. The studies are being undertaken jointly with KPLC and KETRACO. Question number 2, Honorable Speaker. The expected timelines for the completion and commissioning of Rimuruti substation. Following the commissioning of Isiolo-Nanyuki project, Honorable Speaker, the system monitoring will be undertaken jointly with KPLC. Subject to completion of the system study and receipt of the final go-ahead to energize the Nanyuki Rimuruti project, Honorable Speaker, this is what I'm saying today, was actually energized and it is working on very well. The commissioning and energization of this interconnected project will strengthen the 132 kV transmission network serving the region, improve voltage levels, enhance network stability and reliability, reduce the frequency and duration of unexpected power outages, and increase the available transmission capacity to meet the growing electricity demand in Samburu West and the neighboring areas. The strengthened network will also improve the quality and efficiency of electricity supply of households, businesses, and public institutions. The last question, Honorable Speaker, is the alternative or strategic partnership being explored by the ministry to provide Marra and the entire Samburu West constituency with supplementary or backup power sources to mitigate the effect of power outages in future. Honorable Speaker, the response for that question is as follows. Pending commissioning of the Rimuruti substation, the Kenya Power has implemented immediate corrective measures on the existing supply network. Joint technical teams from Marar and Nyahururu repaired an aerial earth wire at Gomongo on the 14th August 2026, replaced the shattered pins insulators around Muchongoi, assessed breakers and protection operations, and reset the affected protection equipment on the 19th August, Honorable Speaker. Pole-to-pole inspection and review of relay settings gradings are continuing. Line fault indicators wise insulation on 24th August 2026 to improve fault location and diagnosis. Supply has remained stable since the corrective actions done on the 19th August 2026. For midterm, the long-term resilience, KPLC is working with the KETRACO to commission the Rimuruti 132/33 kV substation, its dedicated Maral supply line. In addition, a network ring through the Wamba link is at the final design stage. The ring arrangement is intended to provide an alternative supply path from Isiolo and reduce dependence on existing radial feeder. Kenya Power will also continue preventive maintenance, protection coordination, vegetation management, targeted replacement of defective lines, defective line components, and timely customer communication during planned and prolonged interruption. Looking ahead, Honorable Speaker, KETRACO has also identified further transmission projects under the 2024-2043 sector and KETRACO Transmission Master Plan including the 400 kV Losuk Lelos, Lesos, the 400 kV Losuk Lelos, 132 kV Rimuru Marral Losuk, and 132 kV Menengai Olkalau Rimuroti project. These projects are currently under finance sourcing arrangements and are expected to further reinforce the transmission network serving the region once implemented. Question number 4, Honorable Speaker, was planned, if any, by the ministry to compensate affected residents and businesses for losses occasioned by perennial power outages. Honorable Speaker, whereas the Ministry of Energy has no provisions for automatic or blanket compensation solely on account of power interruption, it endeavors through KPLC to prioritize safe and reliable restoration of supply and implementation for corrective and network reinforcement measures outlined above. The Ministry, on behalf of KPLC, regrets the inconveniences caused to residents, businesses, and institutions in Marral Town and the wider Samburu West constituency, and Kenya Power remains committed to improving supply reliability and customer communication. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Lesuda, I assume you got this response much earlier, so you've read it and heard it. Go ahead.
Thank you, Speaker. I want to thank the chairperson of the Energy Committee for that detailed response. And I like that it has deadlines and when, it's easier to follow so that by the date that has been put there, I do hope that the chairperson of the committee will also be able to follow through, and I'll also be keen to see that that happens. So I'm happy that now it's not just about promises, but there are significant dates and timelines that will ensure that in Samburu West we have a reliable power in Samburu West. But having said that, Mr. Speaker, still on the same, I just wanted to say, now that I have the mic, because as we talk about power, we also talk about people's lives. It is very unfortunate that today, Mr. Speaker, in Samburu West and Samburu County, we are actually mourning. We have had 3 incidences where people have died, where homes were reportedly ambushed by suspected bandits. 1 person was confirmed dead. At the same time, gunfire at Lorian Water Point in Morijo. Livestock were driven away and people were killed. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, there was a bus incident in Bukoi Baragoi Road. A bus was involved in an incident, leaving the driver and 2 others injured, and other travelers are still in the bush as security personnel assist and secure passengers. Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to say that even as we talk about power, we also need to ensure that the security of the people of Samburu County is taken seriously. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
And I think the agencies concerned have also listened to you this evening to deal with the security matters there. The Honorable Gikaria, you've heard what the member said. Please ensure that the agencies you speak to stick to the deadlines and timelines you have put to ensure that Samburu West and Samburu generally is well powered. Thank you. The next response is the Honorable Gikaria.
The Speaker had directed that we were supposed actually to give the responses on Tuesday, but now I have 2 more. I wish maybe we could take
These are to which?
One was by Honorable Edith Nyenze, Member of Parliament for Kitui West, and the other one was from Honorable Tungule Kazungu, Member of Parliament for Ganze constituency.
Yeah, I would defer them until next time when they are put in the order paper so that
Most obliged,
the response
Mr.
in the
Speaker.
House.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next one with a request by the Honorable Abdul Haro is in the House. The Honorable Abdul Haro is in the House. Yeah, I think I can see him there. So the Honorable Member for Bureti told you are sitting in for the Chair of Transport. Please go ahead and give your response.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My good friend, the Honorable Member for Mandera South Constituency, Abdul, had requested a statement from the Chairperson of Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the condition and the operationalization of Kotula Airstrip in Mandera County. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Haro sought to establish the following: a report on the status of Kotula Airstrip, including the total cost incurred in its construction and the reasons for its current non-operationalization status, including any legal, regulatory, or administrative constraints. Second question he had was the measures put in place by the Ministry of Roads and Transport to rehabilitate and upgrade and operationalize Kotulo Airstrip, including budgetary allocation and the expected completion timelines. And three, the steps being taken to safeguard the existing infrastructure at the airstrip from further deterioration pending its operationalization. Honorable Speaker, the committee received a response from the Ministry of Roads and Transport through the Clerk of the National Assembly, which I now wish to make. The report was written last Friday, so the committee has not been able to interrogate the response other than a report that has been presented here. Regarding the status of Kotulo Airstrip and the total cost incurred in its construction, the ministry submitted that Kotulo Airstrip, located in Mandera County, was completed on 26th February 2020 under the phase 1 of the development of the project. The facility comprised a Code 3B aerodrome with a single gravel runway, orientation 1836, measuring 1.4 kilometers in length and 30 meters in width, including 2 taxiways and an apron, all constructed to gravel, that is MARAM standards, in general conformity to the ICAO standards Annex 14 requirement for basic aerodromes. The project was funded under the Airstrip Development Vote by the then Ministry of Transport, Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development in the financial year 2017-2018. It was started on 26th August of 2018 and was completed on 26th February 2020 at the cost of 80,151,829.80. The contractor was Nurki Construction Company as a joint venture with Frontier Engineering Limited. The project was 100% complete, certified 100% complete. Defects notification period ended in 26 February 2021. It was subsequently handed over to the Kenya Airports Authority for operation and maintenance. Since completion, the airstrip has supported the government security and humanitarian efforts, albeit very limited operational scale. Regarding the reasons for the airstrip current operational status, the ministry submitted that the airstrip continues to face significant operational constraints, primarily due to its gravel surface and environmental exposure. These include rapid surface deterioration resulting from wind erosion and seasonal rainfall, increased risk of foreign object debris, posing safety concern for aircraft's operations, high maintenance requirements, and associated recurrent costs, reduced operational reliability, particularly during the adverse weather conditions. The encroachment by vegetation within the runway strip, compromising feasibility and safety margins. These challenges collectively limit the efficiency, safety, and sustainability of operations of the facility and hinders its full operationalization. Regarding the measures to rehabilitate, upgrade, and operationalize Kotulo Airstrip, the ministry submitted that while phase 1 established the foundational infrastructure, further investment is required to achieve full operational capacity. There is a compelling need to implement phase 2 upgrades, including upgrading the runway, taxiways, the aprons to asphalt, that is bituminous standards, to ensure durability and all-weather operations. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, the ministry submitted that the improvements will significantly enhance the strategic role of Kotulo Airstrip as a critical enabler of security operations, humanitarian response, and socio-economic development in Mandera County and the wider northern Kenya region, while underscoring the current operational status of the airstrip and the need to targeted investment to ensure its optimal utilization, improved efficiency, and long-term sustainability. Honorable Speaker, that's the response we received. I've gone through the response myself together with the chair, and I've talked to the chair. There are 2 questions that have not been responded to by the ministry, which I wish to raise them, and I know the member will surely raise it, about the question of then what will happen to the airstrip and what is the plan of the ministry on the airstrip together with its budgetary allocation and the intended timelines in the construction of the project to make sure that this project is timely. So because this response was given just last week, we would wish, and I would want to assure the member that we will further process this question, because in our opinion as a committee, it is both inadequate and insufficient to take care of the concerns of the member for the purposes of the general development of Kotula Airstrip in the northern region to be able to serve its purpose. Thank you, Chair.
Very well said, Honorable Haro.
Thank you, Chair. And I also thank the committee because obviously they found that the report is unsatisfactory, and indeed it is unsatisfactory. And as the committee goes back to interrogate this statement further, I would like to mention a few things that the committee should look at. One, the report says that since completion, the airstrip has supported government, security, and humanitarian operations. This is factually not correct. 6 years down the line since the completion of the airstrip, the airstrip has remained unused. It has never been used. So it has not been supporting those operations as we speak about. And we are worried, especially now that we are preparing for an El Nino. We are being told it will be even much more harsher than the El Nino we had last time. This is a region where the roads are bad. There are a lot of security insensitivities, and there is a lot of humanitarian needs, especially when there is El Nino, and that is one worry we have. Honorable Speaker, I also asked the statement to address the two key issues that the committee has pointed out. I asked for the ministry to give timelines and implementation schedules for any improvements to make the airstrip usable or operational. I also asked about any budgetary measures for the airstrip to make it operational. But of course, there is no indication that phase 2 is ready, budgeted, and there is no allocation for it in this financial year, and this appears like an unfunded request. Honorable Speaker, the statement also says that the airstrip was handed over to the Kenya Airports Authority for operational and maintenance purposes. But there is no indication at all for the last 6 years that there is maintenance by KAA since handover, and that KAA does not have any budgetary allocation for the Kotulo airstrip. Those are the issues that I want the committee to interrogate as they interrogate this further. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, and I think as admitted by the member of the committee, are you the vice chair of the committee? When they call the ministry officials, I'm sure you'll be available to be able to raise these concerns yourself before that committee. Thank you. I think, Honorable Komingoi, you take it up and lodge with the member. How soon do you want to call the ministry on this matter?
Okay, Honorable Speaker, would you allow me to coordinate with the member when the next meeting will be coming with regard to the transport department, so that we can be able to work it out together?
I'm sure, Haro, you are well guided. Thank you. Now, members, for the convenience of the House, allow me to again further organize the order paper. The Honorable Joseph Munyiri.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I wanted to raise an issue with the Transport Committee because I sought for a statement here regarding a road in my constituency, Goda Gatumbi, Gashosho Road. And they had promised to give us an answer in 2 weeks' time. And it's been over a month. So what I wanted to find out, because we are going for recess, we've also been told by the meteorological department that there'll be El Nino. We come from a very bad, Muranga is a very mountainous region. So the issues of landslide are prevalent. And I'm worried that before we get an answer, and all we wanted is the contractor has been paid his dues. He had started constructing the road, went halfway, got paid, and he disappeared. And all we wanted to know from the ministry is when the contractor will be back on site. Because if we are unable to do it before the El Nino rains start, the area will become impassable. Our people will have no route to go anywhere, so they'll be marooned. And I wanted to find out from the Transport Committee where we are, because it was supposed to be done by now.
Honorable Komingoi, this is a very genuine concern. Are you by any chance sitting during this recess as a committee?
Yes, Honorable Speaker. And we are quite aware, and I'm aware, and actually I discussed with the member, that the ministry has not responded. We did indeed talk with the vice chair, who was around in the morning. He made a call to the PS, and the PS said that they have not responded to it because they are pursuing the contractor. I would ask actually the honorable member to give us up to actually next week, when we'll be able to see whether there's any response to this particular question. I remember it elicited a lot of concerns from the member, knowing that if the rains are then coming, the contractor is fully paid and mobilized, that there is no debt on this road, there is no reason why the contractor should not be on the road. And for that purpose, I think we can be able to help the member to see what to be able to do in the next meeting. Honorable Speaker, we are having a meeting with the roads department. However, they have not confirmed because the invitation has been made. And I would personally pursue to see to it that we get a response to the member as soon as it is practically possible.
Honorable Yusuf, take it up with Honorable Komingoi. And in any case, within 2 weeks, even if you're doing recess, please, let's get a response on this matter. Thank you. Our members had mentioned that we had organized order paper much earlier, and we skipped order number 4. So would you go back there and call out on number 4?
Order number 4, petitions.
That was a petition by the Honorable Owen Bayer, which I'll give the Honorable Minority Whip to read.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As you are rightly saying, I'm doing this on behalf of our Deputy Majority Leader, Honorable Owen Bayer, who is attending to another official duty. And because he's so concerned with this, he requested me to read this so that they can get the response as early as possible. The motion is regarding, the petition is regarding safety, legality, and environmental compliance of the development at Twiga Beach Hotel, Jacaranda, Watamu in Kilifi County. I, undersigned on behalf of the residents of Watamu Ward in Kilifi North constituency, Kilifi County, draw the attention of the House to the following. Number 1, that residents of Watamu Ward are gravely concerned about the environmental integrity, safety, and legality of a large development under construction at Twiga, Jacaranda, Watamu, and the risks it possesses to the marine ecosystem, the natural environment, and the tourism economy upon which the community depends. Number 2, that the development stands in close proximity to the ocean, with some of its supporting pillars reportedly situated in or immediately adjacent to ocean water, raising serious concerns regarding the coastal erosion, degradation of the marine and beach environment, and the long-term ecological impact of the structure on the shoreline. 3, that the concerns raised are highlighted by the potential consequences of any structural failure of a large development which could endanger residents, construction workers, tourists, businesses, and members of the public. Number 4, that the National Environment Management Authority, NEMA, and the National Construction Authority, NCA, have previously inspected the development and issued notices concerning the construction, but construction is reportedly continuing. That the existing structure, including the number of floors, number of units, overall size, configuration, and intended use may not be as per the approved architectural and structural plans. Number 6, that the petitioners are further concerned that the premises may have been occupied or put into commercial use without requisite verification of all the approvals, permits, and certificates, including certificates of occupation. Number 7, that proximity of the structure to the ocean also raises environmental and coastal management concerns, contrary to Article 42 of the Constitution that guarantees every person the right to clean and healthy environment. Number 8, that under the Environment and under the Environmental Management and Coordination Act, projects falling within the statutory framework are subject to environmental impact assessment requirements before the relevant license is issued, and the authority may require a fresh assessment where a project has been substantially modified or possesses an environment threat or possesses an environmental threat not reasonably foreseen during the original assessment. Number 9, that Watamu beaches, marine ecosystem, natural environment, and tourism attraction are important economic and social assets to the local community, and any development that is unsafe, improperly approved, or environmentally non-compliant could adversely affect both public safety and the tourism industry, on which many residents and businesses depend. Number 10, that despite repeated efforts by the residents to seek redress from relevant authorities, to tangible results have been achieved to date, and that the issues raised in this petition are not pending before any court of law, constitutional body, or other legal institution. Number 11, therefore, your humble petitioners pray that the National Assembly, through the Public Petition Committee, 1, engages the National Environment Management Authority and any other relevant government agencies with a view to establishing whether environmental impact assessment on the project was undertaken and the relevant licenses issued, environmental inspection of the development undertaken to safeguard human life, public safety, the environmental and tourism interest of Watamu. Number 2, recommends that the appropriate remedial or enforcement action, including demolition where necessary, be taken without further delay in regard to the said building, subject to the applicable law and due process, in order to prevent loss of life, protect wildlife, and preserve the dignity and integrity of Watamu's coastal and marine environment. And 3, finally, makes any other recommendation it may deem appropriate to address the plight of the petitioner. And you as petitioner will ever pray. Honorable Owen Baya, CBS MP.
Thank you so much. This petition is, of course, accordingly committed to the petition committee to be handled by them, and response be given in the next session when slotted. The Honorable Jamatia, just give it a minute. Next order.
Order number 14, the Public Service Superannuation Scheme Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 33 of 2025, second reading.
Members, because I can't see the mover for this bill, I order this bill to be deferred to the next time it's loaded in the paper. Next order.
Order number 15, motion, inspection visit to the Kenyan Embassy in Morocco.
Members, I accordingly refer this order to, because I can't see the chairperson, the relevant committee to move it for debate. Next order.
Order number 16, motion, inspection visit to the Kenyan Embassy in Egypt.
Members, this order and order 15 are to be moved by the same person. And because it's not the house, it's not in the house, the motion is also accordingly deferred to the next time it's loaded in the order paper.
Order number 17, motion, 9th report on examination of the audited financial statements of various state corporations, Rift Valley region.
All members, order 17 also accordingly deferred to the next time's order paper because the chairperson is not in the house to move the same. Members, there being no other business, and the time now being 17 minutes past 6 o'clock, this House stands adjourned until Tuesday, the 29th of September 2026 at 2:30. I also wish members a restful recess. Thank you.